This is like exactly what I was like picturing.
Okay.
Okay, what is your full name?
My full name is Holly Tiedeman.
Okay, what do your parents call you?
Holly.
What are your parents' names?
My mom's name is Janie. Her maiden name is Schwartz Tiedeman. And my dad's name is Lonnie Tiedeman.
Where were you born?
I was born in Baltimore, more specifically the Pikesville, Mount Washington area.
Did you grow up there?
Yes.
Did you like growing up there?
Yeah, I've lived in the same house since I was born, and then when I moved out, so I haven't lived anywhere else, so I don't really know anything else. Yeah.
That's really cool. What are you? Like the long list of what are you?
Like ancestor.
Yes.
Okay. I'm mostly Eastern European. So on my dad's side, his grandparents came from Germany. And then on my mom's side, most of them are from Latvia, which is like some country in Europe that I didn't really know before I found that out. And I think some are from Russia. So like something from there.
Okay, so when someone asks you like now, they're like, what are you? What do you say?
I usually just say I'm white and American. I usually throw in there that I'm Jewish.
Okay. What is your religion?
Judaism.
Do you consider your family to be relatively religious?
So out of the 3 categories of Judaism, which are Reform, Conservative, and Orthodox being the most religious, I would say we're conservative because I went to Hebrew school since I was little. I was bat mitzvahed. We go to synagogue on high holidays, but we don't really practice Shabbat or we don't wear the traditional clothes that Orthodox people wear.
Has your family always been Jewish?
We have always been Ashkenazi Jews, so I guess that was more prominent when my ancestors were actually living in Europe, because those are where the Ashkenazi Jews come from. But we don't really say we're Ashkenazi Jews, we just consider ourselves Jews. But yeah, everyone in my family is Jewish.
Cool, okay. How many people are alive in your family, extended family as well, right now?
So all of my immediate family is alive. My parents, my brother. On my mom's side, both of her parents, my grandparents, are alive. But on my dad's side, both of his parents are not alive. They passed away when I was really young. I barely remember them. And then I have a big extended family.
Okay. Do they all live in Baltimore or in the Baltimore area, around Baltimore?
The ones that live in Maryland live in Baltimore and probably live at the most 20 miles within me. But I have some family that moved to Florida or moved to Pennsylvania, Georgia, California, but they all come from Baltimore.
What generation college student are you?
So I was thinking about this, and from what I know, I'm 4th generation. So my parents went to college, their parents went to college, and then some of the men, like my great-grandfathers, went to school.
Did they go to school in Baltimore?
Yes.
Cool. When your family first came over to the States, where in Baltimore did they move to? Do you know?
So, I guess my great-grandparents, they moved to Park Heights, which is northwest Baltimore. And from what I read, that's where a lot of Jewish people ended up migrating. But then they moved from Park Heights to Randallstown to Pikesville, and that's where most of my family lives now.
Okay. Do you remember the year your family came over?
It was when my great-grandma was really little, but I don't know the year specifically.
What did they do for jobs when they moved to Baltimore?
So I know my great-grandfather was this is on my mom's side, because I know most about my mom's side of the family. My great-grandfather went to University of Maryland pharmacy school, and he was a pharmacist downtown. And then,
like in Baltimore?
Yes, in Baltimore.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it is cool. So as far as my great-grandparents, that's the only thing I know that they did, yeah.
When they moved here, did they receive any kind of discrimination because they were Jewish?
Not that I know of. I mean, we learned in class that they did. They weren't considered, they were considered colored, and they weren't allowed to live in like a white Christian neighborhood like Roland Park, and they couldn't join the the white Christian golf clubs, what's it called?
Like country club?
Country club,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Is there like a point in time that you think is like the most significant in your family history?
So, I guess that my great-grandparents moving from Europe to America because of all the problems they were facing, but other than that, there's not really a big like event that I can think of. Both of my great-grandparents ended up moving here, but I don't know much about like my dad's side,
Okay.
his grandparents or their parents. Yeah. So
Their history.
a lot of times when I've asked my grandparents about their family, they say that they don't remember much, but they do remember their parents always speaking Yiddish in the home, and Yiddish is like a language that's a mix between German and Hebrew. And but they said they never really were able to speak it, just their parents.
Are you and everyone like in your family close? And that includes like your extended family?
I would say we're pretty close. I live about 7 miles from my parents' house. I have dinner with my immediate family every Sunday. I have dinner at my grandparents' house with a few of my cousins on Mondays of each week. We spend all the holidays together, we go on vacations together, and we all live pretty close to each other, so I would say we're pretty close.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you remember your great-grandparents, or?
There's a picture of me and my great-grandmother, her name was Ada, on my mom's side, but I don't remember her. I think she died when I was before I turned 2.
Okay. Who is the oldest person you remember as a child, like in your family?
So actually, my dad, he is the brother of 5 siblings. And he's the youngest. His oldest brother is 14 years older than him. So his parents were always a little older than the other parents,
right.
at his age. So when I was born, they were pretty old. They were almost in the generation of my great-grandparents on my mom's side. So I remember my grandfather a little bit, and I think he was in his 80s when I was just little, so he's the oldest person that I remember.
Do you think being a Baltimorean has affected your life?
I think it has, and I didn't realize it has until I've learned more about the city. I've always lived here, but Baltimore is just really a unique place, and it's very small, so I feel like I kind of know everybody, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
it can be bad too sometimes.
What do you think is bad about it?
So, where I'm from in Pikesville,
mm-hmm.
It's a huge, huge Jewish community. My mom grew up there. I grew up there. So, it's just you see people at grocery stores, and everybody knows your business a little bit. So, that's the bad part.
So you're from a really small town in Pikesville?
Yeah, Baltimore as a whole, I think of Baltimore as small, and then Pikesville is it's a pretty small community, yeah.
Okay. Do you love being from Baltimore?
I do. I have thought about moving many times because I love New York City, I love Florida, but I just can't seem to want to really leave. I just really do love it here.